My motto is not to ever give up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no matter what you're faced with, if you can look up, you can get up.
Ooh, I like that.
So
like
if you
that.
keep looking up, you'll always strive for the prize of whatever it is that you're looking for. But if you give up on it, then how can you ever achieve it?
That's so true.
So it's just something that I always want to teach my boys is delay doesn't mean denied.
Girl, you just have a bag full of... Oh,
So
man.
if something is delayed for you, it just means that there's another way that you have to go about getting it.
I'm stealing so many things off of you.
But because it's delayed doesn't mean it's completely denied. The illusion is to make you believe that it's denied so that you can give up.
Oh my God.
But if you fight through every obstacle, every pain, every hurt, every shortcoming, you know, even when you can't look up, you can't give up. So
true.
that's very important to me. And then that's what I want to instill in my sons, you know, even when they're on that football field. I tell them it's the same thing, it's the game of life.
Yeah.
So play in position so you don't have to play out the game.
So tell me your name.
My name is Tangela Ridgway.
Okay, hi Tangela.
Hi.
And what's your occupation?
I am a salon owner.
Nice. Okay, and how did you go about becoming a salon owner? Like what prompted you to say, I just don't want to do hair, I want to be a salon owner?
What prompted me to be a salon owner? My leadership role, I took that to the next level to say that since I love hair so much, I can train other stylists how to do hair the way that I know how to do hair. And I've been doing it since I was 13. So just taking it to the next level of doing hair, not just being behind the chair, but just fit to lead and kind of direct someone else's career in the path that they want to go in.
I like that, taking it to the next level. How do you do that?
Well, I mentor, coach, help motivate. I keep education going. I keep myself, you know, endowed with the latest trends, the latest styles. I stay up on the fashion, the haircuts, the colors, and I just keep my staff motivated the same way. So I kind of lead by example.
I like that, leading by example. So what happens when you encounter someone that maybe doesn't fit your fancy? I mean, you're in the service of customer service, where the customer is always right. So how do you handle that when you have a disgruntled individual and you put your best foot forward? How do you handle that?
Well, the saying of customers is always right is actually right, but you just tailor it to fit your needs and theirs at the same time. So when I say that the customer is always right, I give them the benefits and not show them the features.
Tangi, what's your biggest accomplishment?
Definitely being a role model to my sons would be top priority on my list for biggest roles of accomplishment, because just raising 3 sons alone is a job in itself. But just lead them by example to let them know never to give up, that they can fulfill any dream that they have. And I'm just here to help cheerlead and help direct and guide them into that place of where they want to be. I got football stars, so I'm here to cheer them on.
Yes, you do. My little Tony, he's a major. Okay, tell me this. We all have strengths. Give me one strength, but we all have weaknesses. Give me your weakness.
I would say my greatest strength is tenacity.
So you don't give up.
Never give up.
Tell us a story about that, a short story about tenacity.
Tenacity to me means delay doesn't mean denied. Even though something could be delayed, that doesn't mean you're counted out. So it's for you to go the extra mile to achieve the goal. But the delay is to stop you from moving forward to reaching the goal. But that's where the tenacity has to kick in, and you have to learn delay doesn't mean denied.
Tell me this. We're all human. We all have faults. Give me your weakness.
I would say one of my greatest weaknesses today is learning how to not say no and not take on too much that I'm not able to fulfill. That would be my greatest weakness today.
So, as I was saying, we have all different types of women that make this world up. I want to ask you, from your heart, what's the message that you have to empower women of all race, creed, and color?
My message of empowerment to women is a storm could be raging around you. You could be in a category 5, but if you are down, you're not knocked down. If you can look up, you can get up. When you can get up, never give up. And that will be my message to every woman across the nation.
Greatest lesson learned in life is?
The power of forgiveness. You got to reach into your own heart. You got to take a look at the man in the mirror. And you can never enter the gates of heaven with unforgiveness in your heart. So when you learn how to forgive, you learn how to receive. So if you want to give back to any situation, you have to learn how to forgive the ones that's left behind.
So Tangela, once the show gets picked up, what would you like America to know about Tangela Ridgeway?
I would like the world to know that Tangela Ridgeway is a person. Tangela Ridgeway is a mother that goes through everyday life struggles and have learned how to overcome and face some fears that I had to deal with. A reality is not a perception, and I want the world to know, to get to know me for my merits and understand that humans make human errors, but humans also know how to forgive and move on.
Last question. Give me your wow factor. Like, wow, this is Tandy, I did this. Damn, I'm good. Give me your wow factor.
Let's see, wow factor. A wow factor for me today is reaching a goal, reaching an accomplishment with the takeover of the salon and dealing with the setbacks that came with it, and still being able to stay alive with it has truly been a wow factor to me. And being able to rebuild my life has been a wow factor, coming from such a devastating blow. And being able to sit in this chair today is definitely a wow factor to me. And it lets me know that you can keep living and you can keep giving. You can keep growing, you can keep learning. That's a wow factor for me.
Thank you, Tangela.
Quite welcome.
Well, my life that I lived, my husband was like a drug lord, so we did all kinds of nice stuff. We didn't miss out on too much, let's just say that. Now I'm not. I'm a drug counselor now. How about that?
Really?
Really.
Nice.
Really. I'm on the other side of the fence now. Was that juicy enough? Make you a little bit intrigued?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Tamara Thompson.
Okay. How are you today, Tamara?
Great.
All right. Do this for me. Describe yourself.
I would say that I am aggressive, assertive. I would say that I was matter of fact. I would say that I was fun. And I would say that I'm a good person to have around.
Year to date, T. Tell me, what's your greatest accomplishment?
My greatest accomplishment would be raising those 2 daughters I have to be productive, successful citizens of society. That's my biggest job. Everything else is kind of like, you know, I got this. Yeah, but that was work. 2 daughters.
In LA.
Yeah.
And not for them to be,
Twerking on YouTube.
thank you.
That
How you
part.
doing? I love that. Okay. Tell me this. I know you and I know your strengths, but I want America to know your strengths.
My strength would be resilience. I think
How are you resilient? Give me an example. What happened in your life where you had to be resilient because
I had
you
to
weren't gonna
have
let this
kids.
get the best of you? Exactly.
right. Well, I think my trials came when my husband went to jail, and I had to make sure I had to do things on my own. I didn't have him anymore, so yeah, just starting over by myself with my kids and having everything and then having nothing. That part, I think that was my strength, to be able to stay positive and focused and turn my nothing into something. Yeah.
You know, during the time when we go through trials and tribulations, we all become weak because we all are human. During that time I was around you, that was not a good time. How did you overcome your weakness? Like, yeah, you're resilient, you're tough, you're edgy, but when Tammy had to look at herself in that mirror,
Right.
what did you pull from in here that said, it's my heart, you know, minus the kids, we know
Right.
you're strong
Got
for
that.
it, but how did you do that? What did you find in Tammy?
I just had to believe in Tammy. That's what I had to do. And go off of the things that I was taught and learned over, you know, my marriage, or just over, you know, being out in the streets. You know, I had to make sure I kept some things in here, because the things that I kept, I think I needed, so that I was able to be resilient and bounce back and not stay down when I was down, you know?
Right. So, looking back at things, T, if you can like do it all over again, because I know we wish we could and we can't, but if you had that one moment in time, what would you change? What could you change? And if you have several things you want to change,
My hair. That's it. No. What would I change? I really wouldn't change anything, because what I've been through, it makes me who I am right now. So I take the bitter with the sweet. And I really wouldn't change. I would change one thing, that I would wish my husband wasn't in jail.
okay. Now, fast forwarding, what are your aspirations? Like, what do you want for Tamara Thompson?
Everything.
Okay. Give me that.
I have everything, but I want a lot more. I want more than houses and cars. I want just to be successful.
And to have your joy and your happy, whatever that may be. Now, we're close to signing a deal.
Give me a minute.
Need a moment? Somebody have some tissue? I know. But we're gonna be okay, okay?
Of course.
You're gonna make me
That's
cry.
my soft spot.
I know. We're not gonna talk about that anymore right now. We got enough. We're gonna talk about what we're getting ready to do right now, okay? Okay. When we talked about this show 2 years ago, Tammy, I told you I'm tired of seeing the fakeness with reality. I said, I'm gonna write something. We need to get this going. I need you in it. I need you to show you. So, what's the message that you would send to every woman in America when they turn on this TV and they see all 5 of us? You. What do you want to reach to the little girls that are looking at you, to the young women that are having problems, that can't identify with themselves, that have identity crisis, peer pressure,
Right.
Unhappiness with their significant others? What is it? Tell me, what is it that your message is going to be when we go across that TV?
My message to the women in the world would be that you can always find your positive in your negative. Whether you're born in it, it's around you. that's what you was taught. I think me personally, I think I just found my positive out of all of my negative that I endured. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to give up. You can, always know that if you got it in you, it can be manifest. I think you speak it, you can be it. So, yeah, my message would be resilience. Just, you take one and you take another one and you keep it moving. And you just work your negatives into positives because that's what you grow from, your positives. So,
Tell me this, your greatest lesson in life that you learned. You got one shot. Like Eminem said, your one shot. What was your greatest lesson?
my biggest lesson out of life is you can have it all. You can have it all. You don't have to stop right here. You can, once you achieve your goals, you can always set a higher goal and achieve it. So I think, yeah, just achieving, making your goals higher and achieving them and not staying in one place. I think because the world has so much to offer, you don't have to just stay in Compton. You can go to Cairo, you could go to Dubai, because, it's different things out there that can influence you to be positive. So I think my message would be don't give up, perseverance, resilience. You get down, knocked down, you get back up, and you go. You make it yours. Yes.
Okay, last question. Give me your wow factor.
My wow factor is me, just Tammy. Tammy is a wow factor. Tammy is unpredictable. Tammy is say what's on your mind. Tammy is black or white, no gray, no in between. Tammy is resilient to that bullshit. That's what Tammy is. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tamara Thompson.
Thank you.
And I am curious, like, do you embrace where you're at right now? You're like at your age.
I do, because I'll be 42 years old in March. I feel, like I'm 32. I've experienced so much. I don't look 42, I don't think.
No, you don't.
And I'm always telling people my age, like I'm proud of it. Everybody's like, why are you telling people your age? No, women usually don't say their age. Like, I'm proud of it. Like, I've been through so much. I look good. I work out every day at the gym with the trainer 5 days a week. So I try to keep myself together.
Awesome.
My daughter makes me old, but 18-year-olds, they're tough to deal with. My daughter actually just moved out 2 weeks ago.
Really? How do you feel about that?
I love it because she was giving me a hard time when she was, the last 6 months of her turning 18. She wasn't coming home. She didn't text me, so I'd wake up in the middle of the night wondering, if she's dead or alive. So I wanted her to pay like $200 per month to show responsibility, and she didn't want to do that. So she moved out. Now she's living with her friend down the street, and she's like, Mom, I want to come home. I'm so broke. I need 2 jobs. So she's paying like $800 a month. I'm like, you wanted to be an adult, so now you're an adult.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I told her.
Your eyes and look down.
I told her not to try to grow up too fast because I moved out when I was 17 years old, and I've been on my own ever since.
Oh.
So, and then the last 14 years I've been a single mom. So that was kind of tough, but I managed to do it. Working, going to school, taking care of my daughter. So.
Hello.
Hello,
Introduce yourself, Sharon.
My name is Sharon Neely.
And how would you describe yourself, Sharon?
Optimistic, persevere, caring.
So, Sharon, I know that you're into real estate. Tell me about how you took that chance on getting into that environment. That's a tough environment, and especially for a female. have family members that do it, but what motivated you to go into that business and say, I could be successful at this? And once you got into the business, tell me, how did you maintain it?
I started out as answering the phones as a telemarketer 21 years ago. Then I was a loan processor making a set salary. The loan officers' files would come to my desk, and I said, I'm working 40 hours a week and they're making as much as I am on one file. And I said, I don't want to just make a set salary, I want to do more. So I took the chance and I went on a straight commission, not knowing if I was going to push a shopping cart, not knowing if I was going to keep my house. I did it, and I did better than I ever have in my whole entire career. I made more money than I ever did, and I took that chance of going on straight commission and leaving my salary position.
So you were optimistic and driven at the same time.
Yes.
And you also walked out on faith and believed.
I believed in myself, and I believed I could do anything that in this.
Anything can do.
Correct.
Right. So once you found yourself within this real estate game, how did you maintain it? Because everyone knows it has curves and waves. You know, it goes up and down. It's like it has a peak and it has a valley.
I just said to myself, you know, a lot of people are jumping ship during the struggles. I'm going to stay in here and I'm going to struggle, and failure is not an option. I want to do it and I want to get through it, and I know I can do it.
So tell me this. What are your strengths? What is strong about Sharon Neely?
What are my
You
strengths?
You want America to see. Like I said, when we get signed, little girls are going to be watching us, young women, teenagers, older women. You know, we have a message to put out there. You know, we're not basketball player wives, we're not football player wives. We're women that are doing it on our own, regardless of what adversity. So what do you want for America to see? How do you want America to see Sharon Neely?
How I want America to see Sharon Neely is, regardless of the situation, how tough it gets, I will never give up. I'm not a quitter, and I will keep on going until the end.
That's great. Year to date, Sharon, what do you feel is your greatest accomplishment?
My greatest accomplishments is getting to where I am now, vice president of a mortgage company. I think that's a great accomplishment, coming from answering phones. You know, I initially went to cosmetology school to do hair and makeup for the stars, and, you know, my family was doing real estate, and I wanted to, you know, do that, and I've done really well doing that.
So we're women, and like I said, we have adversities that come across our paths. We have the little hiccups of life, I call them. How do you overcome your weaknesses? Like, we all have them. So what's in Sharon that pulls Sharon up, pulls you up from the boot?
I just pray a lot, and I tell myself, you know what, I'm never going to give up. I'm just going to, you know, take it all the way through and never give up.
So tell me this. You had one thing to change, what would you change?
Being a little bit more patient.
And why is that?
My patience can get, and being, you know, not talking over people and listening a little bit. But I mean, I listen good, but I tend to talk over people. So I want to try to work on not talking over people and listening more.
That's good. So, the message that I would like for all of us to share, well, two messages actually. What's your greatest lesson in life that you learned from a little girl up until this point? What's the greatest one?
No matter what the struggle you're going through or what's happening in your life, just to keep going. Don't go in a different direction, and just, you know, never give up. Don't quit.
Last question. Give me your wow factor. Like, wow. This is
Sharon.
me. Yeah, this is Sharon. Like, this is me. What's your wow factor?
Sharon's a wow factor. I don't judge anybody. You know, I get along with everybody. I don't judge. I'm just, you know, I love helping people. It's just Sharon.
Well, thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
And the commercial side of it is going to be so much better for her in the long run, because then the hip hop is important if she wants to do any type of video work or cheerleading for a pro team. She needs that. So in the tap, honestly, 90% of the girls who audition for anything don't know how to tap. So her even just knowing the basics, that's all that matters. There's very few episodes that I've heard of bullying and alienating kids, because everybody's so different. So it's more accepted. You want to wear, you know, red lipstick and crazy leggings? Work it out. Like, where at her school, her normal high school, it was like, oh no, you were zhuzhed up. You had the heels, you had, yeah. And it was all about what you had and what you were wearing rather than what you're there for, to get an education. And that, I think, is great, because the kids there, it's not, they're not stereotyping you, they're not labeling you. Everybody can just be normal and who they want to be. And that's important, especially for her to grow up in that environment and know, as a young woman going into being a lady, she's gonna need to be that person.
So, Michelle, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Michelle Morency.
And how would you describe yourself, Michelle?
I would describe myself as a committed, loyal person. I am full of energy. I am also a little intense at times. So I think it's a compilation of all things.
Okay. So now, year to date, give me your greatest accomplishment.
I would say year to date, my greatest accomplishment has been being a mom. I got married and took on two stepchildren that we had custody of. I moved from California out to Nevada and went on to have some miscarriages in between having our own children. So we have a total of 5 children that I'm still raising. We have 19 to 2, so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So with that being said, tell me, what are your greatest strengths? Because I know that you deal with a lot. So what do you feel that's Michelle's greatest strengths that you want America to know?
I think a lot of my greatest strengths are that I'm extremely organized. I have to be with all their schedules. I have 2 jobs. I am a hairstylist and I teach competitive dance. So I have to kind of juggle all of that. I have children that are very athletic and in competitive sports also. So I think my strongest attribute is that I'm organized and I'm committed, and I have a strong personality, so sometimes that might come across aggressive, but it gets the job done.
My kind of chick. So, what are your weaknesses?
Huge, that I lead with my heart a lot before my head. So I would say that is probably, you know, what I think. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I wind up trusting a lot of people because I'm a good person, so I think they are. So that sometimes turns around to bite me.
So, tell me this, Michelle, because we've talked and laughed, and if you could change one thing about Michelle, what would it be?
I don't think I would change anything about me. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I make huge mistakes with job, with my kids, in life, but they're all life lessons. So I think, you know, when you know better, you do better. I think the person I am today is because of the struggles that I've gone through in my life. I lost my mom at an early age. I had to grow up very quickly. I had to be very independent, even though I had a fantastic father who helped raise me with my sisters and brothers, but I think that has made me a strong, independent woman. Like I said, I've lost several babies, so I think knowing that there's an ends to the means, that it makes me keep going.
So, what are your aspirations?
I think my biggest aspiration would be just to be a positive role model for my kids and to show them, especially my daughters, how to be strong women and how to, I don't want to say rely on themselves, but be independent and not have to rely on someone else to be a strong woman. You can still be a strong woman, but still be taken care of in respect of, you can still get a door opened for you, you can still have a chair pulled out, you can be courted, but you need to be a strong woman. That's what's going to get you ahead. That's what's going to move you to your next step.
So, once we get signed, we have these 6 episodes. We have all of America watching us, judging us, blogging us. What message do you want to get across that's going to empower every woman of every race, every creed, every color, every country? How would you and what would you want them to understand that could be helpful to them? Because we'll be reaching people we don't even know. So what is it that you would like to see happen? The positive message that you can relay to them.
I think the biggest positive message, regardless of who you are, age, race, any of that, I think the biggest positive message as women, being strong women and showing that we have careers, we're goal-oriented, we've raised our kids, whether or not you have a husband, you have success because of a man in your life with the help. Not because he's made you successful, but because he's helped you along the way. I have a very devoted husband who doesn't stand in my way. If I want to do something, he's very supportive and says, go for it. I'll take the back seat and help with the kids or whatever. And I think that's the biggest message, that as a woman, you don't have to rely on anybody else. You need to rely on yourself. You need to choose the right path and make the right choices. And even if you don't, then when you know better, you do better. Next time, you make a better choice and learn from it and move on.
I like that. Greatest lesson learned in life.
Absolutely.
So tell me this. What's Michelle's wow factor? Like, wow, this is me. I did this.
I don't know. I think there's been a lot of what's happened in life that's made me me. So I think my wow factor is who I am, what I've become, and just the, trying to be positive and trying to show the kids it's not always going to be great, or show my friends it's not always going to be great, but you have to push through it. You have to push through your struggles and work past that and not use that as a crutch. You need to use it as a platform to move to something else.
Well, thank you, Michelle. You did
Thanks.
well. I think it's almost like a form of art though, because it's drawing. You're drawing, so it's like that's why they call you all makeup artists. And I think it has to be natural because it has to flow.
Definitely.
Because makeup artists and hairstylists are like your best friends. It's like you can be yourself, your alter ego, all of that. But when you and I were talking about how it came together, and I was saying about little things I experienced, and you asked me where did I grow up, and I told you that had a lot to do with me putting it together too, because LA can be very difficult at times. It can be your best friend and your worst enemy. It's like a death and a curse,
Right.
It's like good and bad, pros and cons, and it was just a lot going on at the time in my life, and I said, you know what, I need to take some of that, and that's how Cynthia and I just like took off. We just started talking, and we figured out we had like a lot in common, and she's like my little confidant. She tells me things, I tell her things, and it does not move. It stays in this place. And those are the type of people you need, Yesenia, because what do they say? Loose lips sink ships. And you need a confidant, you know, that you can go to this person and say, hey, and just lay it out on the table. You don't have to have your guard up, and that's important to me, especially in this phase of life I'm in.
Hey, girl.
Hey,
Can you say your name?
my name is Gina Mouton.
And what are 3 words that describe you?
I would say fun, ambitious, and enthusiastic.
What are your ambitions?
To be very successful. My ambitions, my drive, and my goals and my aspirations are to be successful in whatever my dreams are and what I set out to achieve.
What are some of those dreams?
Well, for one, owning my own business again. I had a business, well, 2 businesses. One was successful. The other business that I was able to purchase was successful, and I hit a very harsh time. For 5 years, I've been dealing with issues, but it didn't deter me from still wanting to open up another business and to run that successfully.
How are you able to overcome those issues?
I pray a lot. I might not look at Miss Glam, Miss Chocolate Barbie doll, but I pray a lot. I ask for guidance. I ask for forgiveness because my heart intent is not always good, but that's not the real Gina because I love hard and I play fair, and life is not fair. So how I overcome those obstacles is I get down on my knees and I pray and I ask for forgiveness, and I also ask for guidance. I ask for direction that's going to lead me the right way where I can become successful, open up certain doors for me, introduce me to certain people that'll give me that opportunity, that'll see the wow factor in me.
To date, what's your greatest accomplishment?
My greatest accomplishment from year to date is learning to love myself again. There was a time that I didn't love myself. Like I said, I went through a lot of harsh realities. I had a business stolen from me, capital that was stolen from me from my parents, and it took its toll on me for 5 years, fighting a legal battle that I had no reason to be in that legal battle, but because of, let's just say, people's jealousies and insecurities with how they perceive me, it took its toll on me. And there was a time that I felt as if I didn't like myself, and that's not me. I was always raised to love me and to love me first.
What message do you want to give to women?
I have a lot of messages that I want to give to women. Through all the obstacles and barriers that were placed in my life, I was able to overcome them. And just in researching this project and writing this project, when I thought about it 2 years ago, and people that I wanted to be participants in the project, I saw a lot of women that had insecure factors that were unbelievable because they didn't believe in themselves, they didn't like themselves, they might have had partners that didn't grace their presence and make them feel secure and good about themselves. So for me, I want to touch every woman's life. I want them to see all of my friends. We're all different nationalities, creeds, and colors. We all come from different backgrounds, but we're all successful in our own way. I want them to understand you don't have to be a football player's wife. Been there, done that. That's not my first rodeo, okay? And it won't be my last rodeo. I want them to understand they don't have to basically prostitute their souls to feel secure about their womanhood. I want women to understand that if they dig deep within themselves, they'll be able to find and pull back a barrier, a layer of skin that they thought they never had. And it's an accomplishment. That will be a sense that will give them a driving force that they will feel empowered to say, you know what, I can do this.
If you could change one thing about Gina, what would it be?
I wouldn't be so nice. If I can change one thing about myself, I wouldn't take people for face value. I would dig deep. Once you've gone through what I've gone through, you don't take people for face value because their agenda is totally different. Where you come off sincere and you're genuine, like one of my castmates, I understand her because that's how I am. I give from the heart. I don't give because I expect anything back. If I have it, you can have it. But one thing that I would change is not to take people at face value, to open up the book and read it, not judge it by its cover, and to do research.
What's your wow factor?
My wild factor, I think it's something like my surrogate son told me. He said, just when they think they know you, they don't. He's like, you flip the script on them. And that's my wow factor, because I could be driven a certain way and I could be driving down this road at a certain speed, a certain time of day. But if there's something that is not comfortable that I feel, I'll go the opposite way. So I'm unpredictable. That's my wow factor. And with being unpredictable, you leave yourself to have an open mind where you can make better judgments.
What do you want out of this project?
What I would like out of this project is to touch the hearts and souls of women, small, young children, teenagers, young adults, because we have all touched those phases of life because of who we are today. And I would like to give them a sense of empowerment, to let them know you are strong, you can do this. You can open up a business, you can be a womanpreneur, you can be successful. Even with your defeats, there's always triumph in defeats. You just have to look a little bit deeper, they're there. And I just want to educate women to stand on their own. It doesn't matter who you end up with, it doesn't matter who you attach yourself to. It has to be about you, because you're your driving force and you control your own destiny.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we're talking about men and the requirements that you each have.
Tangi, is that our favorite topic? Eminem?
Eminem is our favorite topic, men and money.
Yes. Not the candy.
What is it that a man has to do?
They need to be courted. We as women still, even though that we're strong and empowering,
Romance.
we still want to be courted and have romance and
Romanced.
doors, passion, absolutely.
Yes. Got to have passion. And
Yes.
some money. Let's not leave that out.
I think a big thing for me is loyalty. I've got to be able to trust you. If I don't trust you, I don't want you.
That's my thing too. If I don't trust you, I don't want you. I have to be able to trust you. I have to have that respect and trust.
Respect and trust is huge, huge.
Absolutely.
Big. If I don't respect you, I can't even be loyal.
But
And
then
you can't
giving the
trust him.
respect back.
And I
You won't be able to
That
trust
part.
him.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's totally a deal breaker for me.
And having respect back, because there's a lot of men that
we
can't
not being
handle
real
strong
with
women.
it. Come on now, y'all. We gotta be real.
There's a
with it.
lot of men that are very intimidated by strong women.
That part.
Absolutely.
Thank
and
you.
I think each and every one of us up there are very
you.
strong women.
Now we're
Yes,
being real
we
with it.
are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, ladies, we still need to know our role. We can be strong and powerful in the boardrooms, but we still have to come back home and be that lady. So just kind of
course.
understanding our roles in the relationship. We're not trying to overpower men and money because they do have a sense of head, and we want them to still stay on that platform, but then you need to run your ship as a
Absolutely.
man.
That part.
And I believe we need to be treated like a queen, but we also have to treat the men like a king.
Absolutely.
Right. It works both ways. It's parallel, like a
me,
two-way
I agree.
street. It has to work both ways. Has to.
I think you have to be on the same wavelength even for it to work. You have to think the same, like the same stuff, do the same things, want the same things out of life.
Compatibility.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have that, you're gonna argue every motherfucking day.
I think compatibility is huge though, like you
Yeah,
said. But you still need to have your own individuality.
Right.
And they need to allow that, and you need to allow that in them.
Right.
For them to go and be with their friends and
Hang
us to
out,
be
right,
with our,
girlfriend.
you know, we like
Right.
to do the girl thing.
We hang out.
Absolutely.
I think you should be friends with your man.
You should be
You
friends.
should be
You
friends
should
with
be,
your
but
man.
that
If
should
you're
be your
friends with
best
him,
friend.
Then I think the relationship will always take its right turn.
And I believe communication is a big thing. You should always communicate. You know, you should let the men go boys' night out. The girls should have a girls' night out, and you know, then you come together and have the couples' night out.
And that goes
Right.
back to trust.
Yes.
Having trust in your
Communication.
spouse.
Correct.
That's what
Your
I said.
significant other.
That's what I
Absolutely.
said.
Absolutely.
Got to trust you.
If you could go back 10 years and talk to yourself, what would you say?
What would you say, Gina? 10 years. Oh
How
my God.
in the world was I attracted to that? Really? Not. No. It wouldn't even work. It couldn't even happen right now. No. Mm-mm. That's called evolving, and that's a good thing because it's nature. You're supposed to grow. So if you can look back 10 years ago and say, oh my God, and then look at you now, and you're like, oh honey, I am that bad bee, okay? that did work out for me. I don't know about him, but from 10 years
It was
ago,
good for you.
it was good for me. I learned what I didn't want anymore.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, and you do, and that's again, like we were saying, when you know better, you do better. You figure out what
Right.
you need, you
Right.
figure out what you want,
Right.
and
Right.
you know, you take that different path to get you in a different direction. If you went down that path before and it didn't work for you,
Don't do it
don't
again.
be dumb. Don't do it again.
Right. Right.
Move on, change
Right.
your idea, change
Same
what
with-
you
yeah.
And-
want to achieve.
And learn from it.
And learn from it.
Learn
Absolutely.
from it.
Because if it's not a lesson
Yeah.
you've learned, it's going to come back at you. And,
you're
you're going to
gonna
keep
take the
getting
test
it.
again.
And yes, you're going
And
to keep
don't
getting
ever
that
settle
test.
for what you
No,
know.
never
don't
settle.
Right. Never
Ever.
settle for what you don't deserve.
I would
Settling.
never be
Ever
attracted to
settle.
somebody from 10 years
Period.
ago.
Okay.
I'm
I am
just a whole
so
new
there
Tangela.
with you.
So
Oh,
today, they wouldn't
yes.
be able to take who I am today.
No.
versus
They wouldn't.
What 10 years was. 10 years ago, I wasn't even who I am today. I'm built now for greatness.
And
10 more
bigger and
years.
better
Yes.
things.
Yeah.
Well, and I think if you, like in my case, being in a marriage and with a husband, we've been together for 13 years, I think we have had to grow. I am not
Right.
the person that he married at, 27 years
Right.
old. Things have changed, things have evolved, we have kids, and that is huge.
Bills,
If you
house
cannot
notes,
grow
yes.
together, it's not going to work.
And
Absolutely.
that's the key though, Michelle, growing together. Why it's working for you and your
Absolutely.
hubby is because you guys are growing together.
Right.
Because you can be in a relationship and you could be evolving and that individual is just not evolving.
And that's-
so what do you do?
Exactly. Well, that's when
You're
you
gonna
move
leave.
on.
Right.
You need
You're
to-
gonna leave.
You
Hello?
need
Are you talking about me?
No.
I thought you was talking about me like I wasn't here.
No.
'Cause that's me. Really?
No, I think you need to move on, or you need
Yes.
to express that.
Yes.
And if you cannot express that to your mate or
Right.
your spouse,
Right.
and they are not getting it, and you've
Yes.
worked
okay,
on
so
it,
when they don't get it,
Then-
and you say it in so many ways,
Ways
or
and
show
words,
it in
right.
so many ways.
What do you do?
absolutely, you
How do
do
you
what
make
we
them get
as
it?
women do. You take control of your
Yes.
life.
There you go.
You take control of what you want,
That's right.
and
Exactly.
you make it happen.
And I'm
you
just-
don't wait on somebody else to make it happen.
Absolutely.
And I
You
will
make
say
the decision and move forward.
Absolutely.
that's right.
tough choices.
Well, and I'll
We all
say
have to
this,
make 'em.
we have to make them. And I'll say this, as my father has told me, sometimes people are not ready for prime time. We're ready for prime time because we've been there and done it. They've talked about us, shamed our name, tried to embarrass us, tried to disgrace us, tried to tear us down, break us, and they were unsuccessful. That means that we're ready for prime time.
They misjudged. They got it wrong.
They misjudged.
That's a great way to put it, misjudged. Yeah, absolutely.
Not hate. Okay.
Absolutely. No, not hate.
Not hate.
Not hate. I always feel that way. I always felt like I've always been misjudged.
Yeah.
So
But I
when
think
they get
that-
the chance to find out who the real Tangela is,
They would
then
really
you see
like
that.
you.
Thank you.
They would
Right.
really
But don't
like
you think as women we give that, especially us as strong women, we give that persona of maybe the untouchable, the
No, did you feel
we
that
are
way when we
strong.
met? No.
No, but
intimidation
we're not
comes
men.
in that form.
We're not men. You know, that whole,
There you go.
psychological difference. We're not men.
Right.
Men sometimes, not all, get intimidated by a strong, confident woman.
That
So
is
when you're
true.
standing there
90%.
and we're together having a girls' night out, drinks, what's the chances, regardless of rings or not on our hands, what's the chances of a man walking up?
Slim.
Very
Slim
slim
to
to
none.
none.
Slim.
Yeah.
Because
Slim
they
to
feel like
none.
they can't.
Slim.
That's true.
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be
But
too
you
much
do,
work.
you will meet the ones that's like,
Well-
oh yeah, let me send them some bottles.
But there are a lot of men that are intimidated and will not come up to a
Absolutely.
girl.
No, no.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
I was in a relationship at one point, a very long relationship before I met my husband, and there was a comment made to me, and this is when I knew I needed to move on.
Right. Right.
You,
Right.
he couldn't handle a strong woman. He goes, "You don't need me." What the hell? I've never needed you.
Right.
I want
Want it,
you.
right.
I want you to want me.
Right.
But I don't need anyone to
Right.
make
Me.
So a
Me.
lot
Right.
of men are intimidated by
that.
independent women.
absolutely.
A lot of men want needy
They want
women
it or
that
they
want
say it.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
they say they want
Right.
independence and they want
But-
self-assurance.
But they're
and they
intimidated by the
sexy,
independence.
and they want all the diversities that you can have in a woman. They want that. But if you have that and you represent that,
Right.
then how many of them are really going to be able to appreciate that? Because they don't even know how to handle that.
Right.
But
That's
then you
what
have
I'm
to be you too. Be normal. Like there are times, my hair's up in a ponytail and I'm in my glasses
Right.
and sweats
Right.
and I'm
But
running the
that's
kids
when
around.
I meet
That's
guys
reality.
more that way though.
Yes.
Yeah,
When I'm
because
regular,
then
when
that's
I'm-
not-
It's like you
Well,
have
you're
to-
not that
Right.
intimidating.
Right.
You know, right. And they just don't know that this is just a moment in time because I'm running to the grocery store. This is not how I clean up.
Right.
See, they can't handle the cleanup. So, but I think really at the end of the day, it takes a very strong man and a very particular man that can handle it. They are out there. I mean, they are out there.
I have one.
You have one.
I have-
Sharon has one.
I have one
one.
too.
And
that I'm
yeah.
very
We have one.
blessed to
Right.
have one.
And you are as a woman,
Yes.
and
Right.
we're blessed because you
Yes.
have been there, done
And
that.
as an
We've-
older woman, I
Well,
would
I
have never
had
dated
one.
a
Oh,
younger
no,
guy.
no,
but
don't
the
say
younger-
older.
no.
We're not older.
Not older, but I'm very blessed to have a 29-year-old that is very mature and knows what he wants.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would have never dated a younger
Put
guy.
it out there, 29.
I've always,
You're a cougar.
I'm
That
a cougar.
part.
Yeah.
I'll be 43.
That's why I-
I've
that's
always
why I
dated
love Sharon.
older guys,
Wow.
been married to a 14, year older guy than me.
Mine was 13.
My boyfriend of 3 years, just soon to be fiance, just turned 29, and he is so understanding. We work together, we live together, we are best friends, and we get along so
Right there.
good. I am
And-
so blessed
right.
to have. I've never had anybody in my life like this person that I have, and I'm just so blessed to have this person. I think I prayed every day to please God
That's right.
bring somebody into my life like this, and God has answered my prayers.
And hasn't it made you even stronger?
Yes.
It made
than
you
what
a better
were before?
It's
person.
made
Right.
me stronger.
It
I
made
have
you a better
glow.
person.
People are asking me every day, like, who is this man that makes you have a glow to your face? I mean, they see the glow every day. I'm so happy. Never talk bad about this person. I always have good things to say. So
It's not always going to be easy. There's always going to
Right.
be rough
after all
times.
the trials and
But-
tribulations of bad relationships, I finally found the one that I actually want to marry and want to spend the rest of
And
my life with.
appreciate.
And
And
appreciate.
appreciate. You
Absolutely.
appreciate
Yes.
him because, exactly, you appreciate him. And like I
He's
told you,
amazing.
Sharon,
Like he
he's
supported me
your
today.
best friend.
He's been here and he wanted to support me. And even though, like, you know, I got an attitude with him today, I appreciate the fact that he gave me his feedback on, you know, what I did and what I didn't.
Right.
So I really
gotta-
appreciate
you gotta
him.
respect
and you
being
have to,
here today.
there you go,
He
T.
can-
You
he
have to
can be
respect
real.
that.
If he
Right.
can tell you the truth,
gotta respect
and
that.
you be able to handle it. Because if he doesn't tell you the truth and keep it superficial,
Exactly.
then how are you really going?
And I may
Right.
get mad and this
Right.
and that
We
and
all
have
do.
an attitude, but you know what? I
We're women.
appreciate the fact that he's being real.
Yes.
He's not from California. He's out of state. He's southern, you know, out of state, and
Southern
he's just
hospitality.
Southern
right. So
hospitality.
he's different from any guy that I've ever dated. And you know, I just want to say that I like appreciate. I'm so lucky to have this person in my life.
Well, you know what? I appreciate
Yes.
you sharing that, and I appreciate
Congrats.
you being so upfront, Sharon, because a lot of women are so closed when it comes to their relationships. But you put it out there because we're all a team. We are
Right.
a team. This is PCD. We're a team, and you know, people, significant others, and you know, that's our wow factor. It's like, if I accept it, then you accept it. If you like it, I love it. You know, and he has been all day supportive. He hasn't complained, not one. I have not heard him complain one time. Most men would complain,
Right.
or when we
Like,
leaving
oh
this,
my God,
right? Exactly.
right.
When
Is
it's
it
time,
over?
right,
What is it doing?
there's a game on. Here it goes.
Since 10,
So yes,
right.
you are definitely blessed to have a person like that in
And
your
I'm
life.
blessed to be around a group of women that just like we know each other's situation and
Right.
we understand. And I'm so blessed. Like
Right.
I've never been around a group of women that understands each other. I've always been around jealous
Right,
women that like.
Yes.
And that's a
I'm
lot.
not like
Yes.
that.
That's a
I
lot of
love
time.
to give
Yeah.
women. I love to
Yes.
give women compliments
Right.
because
Absolutely.
not a lot of women will
Do
give
that.
you compliments.
You're
and
right.
Don't be like,
Absolutely.
You're
But
right.
like if you're due, like if you've done a good job, I want to like let you know that you've
Congratulate
done a great
you.
job and
Yeah.
congratulate
And
you.
you should.
And I think
It's
all of you
uplifting.
have done a great job this evening.
Thank
Honestly.
you. I'm proud
From
of
the
all
bottom
of
of my
us.
heart, I really think that you guys have done an excellent job.
I'm proud of all of
Thanks.
us.
I think that's huge because there are a lot of
Yes.
jealousy when it becomes a woman thing.
I guess the big thing you want to know is what do you hope to accomplish by getting this message out to millions of people? So millions of people have seen what your story is, but personally, individually and collectively, what do you want this to become? Do you want to become the big household name? Or do you want, you know, or are you looking to use this as a platform to transition into something else?
Well, I would say what I would like to see happen with this project is definitely to work with these beautiful ladies. I'm honored, blessed, and grateful. I would like to see us have a voice in the world that matters, a voice that somebody can appreciate and hear, and most importantly, help change and celebrate somebody's life. That's the road and direction that I'm going on, and I would like to use this as a platform to open up other doors to be able to speak into other people's lives, because if you can pour into somebody's life, you can enrich their souls. So that's what I'm looking for in this segment.
Sharon?
And I'd like to open up and see us to change people's lives as well.
Tammy?
I want to inspire just women and give them hope and aspirations that, you know, even though they don't have much or they don't have anything or they don't think they can achieve certain things, I want us to show them from all different diversities that you can reach, you know, your goals, like positive. You can reach beyond where you grew up at or what has been served to you, so to speak, in society. Like you can just be not held down. That's what I want to give to the ladies, especially.
I think inspiration is great. I think that's definitely, and empowering is our huge message. And I think it's too, rather than just women, it hopefully between all of our personalities, we can affect, you know, teenage girls to make choices that maybe they wouldn't have made prior to watching it. or women who feel like they're stuck in one position. So that's my hope, is that we could use this platform to maybe move forward with educating or helping inspire girls and women to move on. Don't settle for just mediocrity. Move forward and move and achieve.
Right. And always, try to go to the next level.
Yes.
Don't settle.
I would like to use this platform to not only give a woman a sense of empowerment, but to love herself. It's okay to love yourself. If no one else loves you, love yourself. And it's okay to have a diversity across the board when it comes to friends, because friends come from the heart and the soul. They don't come from a look or from some type of monetary gain. They come from the heart. So I would like to inspire women to really look into themselves, love themselves, and once they love themselves, they'll be able to project that and they'll draw that positive energy to them. Well, I'd like to thank you all for allowing us the opportunity to come into our worlds and to see who we are. We're the cast of Pave City Diaries. This is Michelle. This is Tamara. I'm Gina, Sharon, and the beloved Tangi.